Now, from Wish TV, this is The Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. Coming up tonight, it's a week full of great high school sports across central Indiana.
And the Center Grove Trojans are your 2023 Johnson County champs.
In the Coach's Corner, we're joined by the man leading the Lawrence North softball program. Plus, our athlete of the week is one of the top junior baseball players in the state.
Feeling like I can impact the game on both sides of the field is something I always love.
Get into the swing of an all-new Zone Extra right now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome into the Zone Extra. I'm Angela Moria. What a great week of high school sports action we've had this week. In Coach's Corner, last season his team was unbeaten in conference play, earning a MIC title. They want more of that this year. Lawrence North softball coach Matt Marino is here in studio. Plus, our athlete of the week is one of the top pitchers in the state and a future Louisville Cardinal. Meet Fishers Jr. Jack Brown. And we go on campus to catch up with former Lawrence North quarterback and current IU wide receiver Donovan McCulley as he and the Hoosiers go through spring practices. Now let's take a look at this week in high school sports. Last weekend was the Johnson County Baseball Tournament. Saturday's championship matchup featured Center Grove hosting Franklin. Top three. Franklin's Bo Baker, that's deep left and gone. Two-run shot ties the game at 2. Bottom of the inning, Trojans respond. AJ Beggs down the left field line, keeps it fair, and it's out of here. A 3-run homer and Center Grove leads 6-2. Grizzly Cubs enter the final inning down 3, but fighting back, Max Clark in the clutch, 2 outs, his bases loaded single scores a pair, ties the game at 7. To the bottom of the 7th we go. After a hit batter and a walk, Easton Smith, right center, reaches the wall. It's a walk-off, folks. Center Grove wins the thriller for the Johnson County title. 8-7 is the final. Monday night, it was a Hamilton County clash as the 5th-ranked and undefeated Carmel visited Hamilton Southeastern. Top of first, Adam Biskowski into right center, drops for a hit, and scores a run. Carmel up 2-0. Bottom of the inning, Royals respond. Alex Billman, the 2-out single to right. Maddox Buck comes across to score 2-1. The score now. Bottom 2, Ty Bradle flies the ball out to right. Hounds can't seem to find it. Oh no! HSE takes the lead 3-2 after Carmel ties it up. Bottom 3, bases loaded for the Royals. Bach rips one down the left field line to score a pair. HSE deals Carmel its first loss of the season, 5-4 the final. Let's take a look at the first regular season coaches poll. I know it's early in 4A baseball, but here's what we got in the top 5. 2 Central Indiana schools, Center Grove, and that top spot at number 1, Carmel in the number 5 spot. Lots of baseball still left to play. And you know what else is going on right now? Softball. That's where the season is in full swing. We've got several teams right here in Central Indiana having great starts to the year. Well, let's start with Tuesday evening. It was a Hoosier Crossroads Conference showdown as Fishers took on Noblesville. Scoreless in the bottom of the first, 1 out, 2 runners on. Noblesville junior Mac Harvey crushes this one. Guess what? That's gone. 3-run bomb for the Millers as they take the early lead. Home half of the second, Noblesville had 7-1. Bella Shitako, a blooper to center field. Stand-up double, scores 2. Millers are rolling. 4th inning, Taylor Thompson gets all over this one. You catching a trend here, folks? Home run number 2 for the Millers. They go on to win 14-2. All right, we looked at the baseball poll. Let's look at the softball poll. A lot more Central Indiana teams here in 4A coaches poll. Number 1, Roncalli, Center Grove. A powerhouse this spring so far at number 2. New Palestine, Columbus North, and Bedford North Lawrence wrapping out the top 5. Let's move on to lacrosse. Action continues for both the boys and the girls across the state. We've got several great teams here right in Central Indiana. Monday night for the boys, It was Noblesville playing host to Avon. Second quarter. Miller's looking good. Great cut by Caden McClasson, who scores. Noblesville up 5-0. Moving on to the third quarter. Zach McMichael gets the shot, deflects it off the goalie and into the net. What a score. All Millers in this one as they win their 4th in a row to start the season. So HSE, #1 in boys lacrosse, then Carmel Cathedral, Zionsville, Noblesville. A lot of Hamilton County schools in this top 5 boys lacrosse poll, and a lot in the girls lacrosse poll. Carmel at #1, Garin Catholic, HSE, Zionsville, and Noblesville. Catching a trend here, folks. A lot of good lacrosse getting played here in Central Indiana. Basketball season might be over, but that doesn't mean the news has stopped. The finalists were announced last week for Indiana's 2023 Mr. Basketball Award, with half of the finalists right here in Indianapolis. Heritage Christian star and future Purdue Boilermaker Miles Colvin averaged nearly 20 points per game this past season. He's a finalist. Another one, McDonald's All-American Xavier Booker, of course, from Cathedral. Michigan State commit, averaged around 15 points and 8 rebounds. And then there's this guy, Ben Davis's big man, Zane Dowdy. Boy, was he fun to watch. Nearly averaged a double-double, helped lead Ben Davis to a state title and a perfect 33-0 record. Here's the full list of finalists for Mr. Basketball. Of course, there's Booker, Colvin, Dowdy. Joining them, though, are a trio of talented stars: Penn's Marcus Burton, Linton Stockton's Joey Hart, and Valparaiso's Mason Jones. The winner of the award will be announced next week on April 19th. Time for a break, but we have much more ahead here on Zone Extra. Up next, it's Coach's Corner. There he is, the man leading the defending MIC champion Lawrence North softball team. Wildcats head coach Mark Marino is here in studio. And still ahead, he's one of the top baseball juniors in the state and a future Louisville Cardinal. We'll introduce you to our athlete of the week from Fishers High School.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine. The Coach's Corner, presented by Bailey & Wood Mortgage Lender.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra, everyone. I'm Angela Morian, joined now by our illustrious coach in our Coach's Corner, the leader of Lawrence North softball for the last 7 years, leading the program, Matt Marino. Thanks for joining us, Coach. We really appreciate it.
Glad to be here.
Sporting your team, as you should.
Yes,
Love the green and red.
Yep.
Coach, this is just the start of the year, but you
Right.
guys have had success over the last couple years. You won the MIC title last year. What about this team makes you believe that you can do it again this year?
Well, we have 4 returning starters. 2 of them are Division I players. It's the other 5 that, 5 new starters coming in. How are they going to blend? I mean, they're a little nervous right now at the beginning of the season, but we feel very confident they're going to come through and do well for us as the season goes on.
I looked at the stats before this interview, and you have some batters that jump off the page here, Coach. Kat Dinwiddie, Anna Mock, Kate Dowden, all batting over 400. Mm-hmm. How special is that for this team?
It's huge, because those are key hitters that we need when runners are on base to come through for us, and they've done it in the past, and we look for them to do it again this year. So.
Who sticks out the most when you look at your lineup as who can come in the clutch and really deliver when you need a run?
Well, right now we've had our cleanup hitter, Ella Hogan's done well with that. She got 10 RBIs already this season. She's a new starter for us. But we really expect for Anna Mock and Kate Dowden, who are Division I players, to come through, and they're both batting close to 500. Mm-hmm. So, and they both batted over 500 last year, so that's what we expect.
Crazy numbers. 4-2 start to the season, still very early. What have you learned about your team so far that you can take on throughout the rest of the season?
Being more consistent, and we talk about being disciplined at the plate. We've left several runners on base, and that's the slow part of our game right now, is the hitting aspect. Defensively, we've been pretty strong, had a few hiccups, and the pitching's been here and there. So that's in softball you have to have pitching. So that's what we're looking. Hopefully they get stronger as the season goes on. So.
You've been at Lawrence North for quite a bit of time.
A long time.
Since 2017, right, Coach?
Yes, 2017.
What have you loved about coaching the Wildcats?
It's been rewarding because we've built a program. When I got there, I was assistant coach for 4 years, and we'd lose 26-0, and we'd win 3 games a year. And it was just because we wouldn't have enough girls out there playing travel softball. And we put that expectation out there and people working hard at it. And it's just been rewarding because in 2017, won a sectional for the first time in almost 30 years. And it's just been growing ever since then. So it's very rewarding.
Your daughters have been a part of that growth,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
You coached your daughters?
Yeah, I did, yes.
How special was that for you?
That was a lot of fun. They were really good players, and to be able to coach my youngest daughter in high school was very, very rewarding, and it was a good time. It was just an assistant back then, but it was a lot of fun.
What have you enjoyed about this particular group at Lawrence North this year?
Well, they're kind of unique in a way that we have all upperclassmen. We have like 6 seniors, 6 juniors, and just 1 sophomore. And really, you want that in your programs. You want the upperclassmen there, and it's unique because it's a tight group, and I think that they really get along well, and I think it's going to help us during the season.
You said there's new starters, but having so many upperclassmen breeds experience.
Sure.
How does that bode well for you guys as you look down the pipeline at this season?
Well, it's going to, I think they have a lot of experience. Just because they don't have experience with us at Lawrence North, they have a lot of experience playing travel ball. They've played for almost 14, 15 years of their life, and it's going to bode well for us because I think they have a lot of good character and drive, and they all are very hard workers.
You're going to need that drive and hard work when you look at what's coming down.
Yes.
Just in the next couple weeks, we have a graphic here of what your upcoming games are like. Noblesville, Fishers, Center Grove, HSE Cathedral. Coach, what sticks out to me is this swing at Center Grove and at HSE, both top 10 teams.
Yes.
What are you thinking when you look at these next 5 games for your girls?
We're looking to split somehow, some way. But it is the meat of our schedule, and but it's good. It's good for us. It builds us up for the rest of the season, and it's good that we see the best pitchers out there and the best teams. I think it'll help us.
What do you, besides wins and losses, what do you want to see from your Wildcats in these 5 games?
I want to see, our hitting improve, and our pitching be able to go against tough hitters and be able to be strong and competitive, and just be really competitive in those games. That's what we look for.
What is your message to all your opponents? What's a little threat or a little nibble of some secrets that you could give out that gets them ready to face the Wildcats?
Well, if we hit well, we'll get you. But we have a lot of speed too, so if we can get runners on base, we can run on you. So.
I love it. Contact with the ball, speed.
Yes.
Softball at its basic level.
Yes.
Coach, thank you so much.
Welcome.
Good luck on the season.
Thank you.
We'll be cheering for the Wildcats.
Thanks for having me.
All right, much more still ahead here on the Zone Extra. It's our Athlete of the Week. He shines both on the mound and at the plate for Fishers baseball. Up next, meet Tigers junior Jack Brown. Plus, we go on campus at IU with wide receiver and former Lawrence North star Donovan McCulley. We'll see you in a minute.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra, everyone. I'm Angela Morian. Our Athlete of the Week is a two-way standout on the baseball diamond at Fishers and a future Louisville Cardinal. Junior Jack Brown leads the Tigers in hits this year with a .500 batting average entering this week. This Fishers team has played one of the area's toughest schedules to begin the season. On the mound, Brown has 1 win, no losses in 3 appearances with a 2.27 ERA and averages more than a strikeout per inning. This guy's a stud. He's not going very far for college either, committing to Louisville early in his sophomore year as a two-way player. He says he loves being able to impact the game in multiple ways.
I'd say my favorite part is just being a two-way player is probably the game I'm pitching. Feeling like I can impact the game on both sides of the field is something I always love. So the games that I start on the mound, and then after I come out, go in right field, hitting in the lineup, that's my favorite part.
He does a great job of getting his work in. Sometimes it's hard to balance, keeping his arm fresh and making sure we're protecting his arm when he's playing the outfield. But he does a great job of getting all his work in and doing his pitching work, getting his hitting done.
Just perfect place to play high school baseball. I got incredibly lucky with the camaraderie of the team and the coaches on the staff, and like I said, the banners around the place. We won in 2018. We were so close in 21, so the goal is going to be back there, but get another ring.
He's not the most vocal leader, but he'll get with guys and he'll talk through different scenarios with players individually and tries to help them on their mechanics or things he's seeing when he's watching them in the cage. And he's not afraid to speak his mind and share that with the guys.
I'd like to still improve the pitching. Kind of like the start of this year is just I'd like to be just more dominant. If I can have a quick and efficient inning out there and get back in the dugout, guys back in the dugout, we got a better shot to win the game.
You got to keep an eye on that guy, a two-way player going to play for the Louisville Cardinals, Jack Brown. Time for a break, but still more to come here on the Zone Extra, including our play of the week. Plus, it's the latest installment of Ask the Commissioner with Paul Neidig of the IHSAA. Stay with us.
This is the Zone Extra, presented by Franciscan Health Sports Medicine.
Welcome back to the Zone Extra, everyone. I'm Angela Morian. Now it's time to go on campus where we catch up with a former Central Indiana High School athlete as they compete at a college level. This week, we head not too far down to Bloomington and the IU football program, a name you'll recognize, Donovan McCulley. He's gearing up for year 3 at IU. While in high school at Lawrence North as a quarterback, McCulley was Marion County's Player of the Year as a senior and a Mr. Football finalist. He started 4 games and appeared in 3 others as a true freshman at quarterback for IU before switching to wide receiver for his sophomore season. McCulley says he feels he's grown quite a bit as he heads into year 2 at his new position.
My first season, I just tried to take in everything that I could, just keep listening, like kind of be a sponge and stuff like that. I feel like I kind of caught the ball well. Just keep working on that too. This year I'm way more comfortable, like even with the playbook, alignment, like what a receiver's supposed to do, kind of. So I'm kind of just coming into my own at that position. Getting out of my breaks is really something that's big for me because like switching position stuff is you're not used to that. So just working on that.
Expect to see or hear his name rather said a lot at Hoosier football games this fall. Now it's time to Ask the Commissioner. Each week we take one of your questions to IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and bring you his answer. Here's this week's question. How special was it seeing that Jasper High School alum Scott Rowland will be inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame this summer?
Well, Scott has had a phenomenal career as a baseball player and a student athlete when he was at Jasper High School. But one of the things that for me was really special is Scott's father, Ed, and my dad were high school teammates together as a Fort Branch Twig in Fort Branch, Indiana. And, to have that family relationships and then Scott do well. So it kind of felt like, it just even more so for somebody that I've known, and my father was close to his father. It was really special to see Scott win that. And then the way he told his parents in the video that we've all seen online was pretty special.
You know what month? Thanks again to our commissioner for joining us. Here's how you can submit your questions. Send us a tweet using the hashtags #TheZoneExtra and Ask the Commish, and your question could be used on a future show. We'll be waiting. Now it's time to take a look at our play of the week. Each week we feature one of the top plays from the world of high school sports in Central Indiana. Plus we want you to get involved. We will tell you how your video can be featured on the show. But first, here's this week's top play. Center Grove softball hosting Martinsville Monday. Trojan sophomore May Munson knocks it over the third baseman's head into left field, scores a pair. One of 3 hits for Munson on the night and part of a 5-run inning for Center Grove, as the second-ranked Trojans won 12-2, improving to 6-1 on the year. Our crews see a lot of great action, but we want to see your best plays of the week too. Your video could be featured on a future edition of the Zone Extra as our play of the week. Here's how you do it. Tweet us the video of a great play from a high school sporting event using the hashtag #TheZoneExtra. Tune in on Thursday night to see if your submission becomes one of the plays of the week. That's going to be it for this week's Zone Extra. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to tune in again next Thursday for a brand new episode. We'll see you tomorrow night at 11:08.